welcome back to another episode on the In Laws We Trust podcast. I'm Brian,
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Kai.
and today we continue our series, our mini series titled Seasons of Change. And I guess I'm up next. I'm here in the middle.
In the hot seat.
How that seat feeling?
That seat is feeling hot, hot. But we're here. We're gonna make it happen. So today I chose to speak about changes leading up to parenthood. Everything that has happened up until that point and beyond. And let's get into it. I'm here, ready for your
Awesome.
questions.
Mm-hmm.
Parenthood. Why'd you choose that topic?
I really feel it has been kind of like the culmination of things that has been happening, I would say, in the last 5 years for me. To give a little bit of a picture, about 2020 was like when I getting engaged and then going into marriage. And then the timeline continues. Like, you get married, my partner and I, then soon roll into parenthood. We had our first child like not too long after that. And everything was like a blur to me. If you can imagine, just kind of seeing everything happen one right after the other. And the time in between each moment, each transition started to shrink for me. I could even take it back to like when we first started dating. We had our dating period, engagement, and then marriage, and then parenthood. And again, time just kept shrinking and shrinking. So it really felt like everything was happening without me being like super aware, if that makes any sense. Like not being able to settle in to each change and transition. And that really had me like feeling a certain type of way, but not being able to pinpoint like what was going on. So now that we get to this point in time, like there was a moment where, hey, something's going on. Like it's affecting a lot of other like things outside of me. It's affecting my relationships at home, affecting my relationships with family, at work, and really forced me to have to like pause and take a step back and finally address. And it's a realization. It was a late realization, but figuring, I think I never got settled into every transition, and I was changing, things were changing, but I didn't do anything to like prepare, or even not even just prepare, but kind of settle in that change and then move on to the next. It was just continually
Bam, 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 bam,
yeah,
bam.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you have? I mean, you're in the midst of fatherhood. Like you're literally at the beginning, to be honest.
Right.
Because your little ones are little ones.
Mm-hmm.
So like, now that you have the wherewithal awareness of like, I didn't really settle into these different transitions and changes. How, moving forward, would you want to change that?
I think for me, and had definitely had conversations with my wife about this, that I would have loved to be a little bit more intentional with our time, especially getting into that next step, our next phase in life, that we really like marriage. Let's say we got to enjoy being a couple, a married couple, newlyweds and everything. Like we really didn't do that. Like we were dating for like 5-6 years before getting married, and it was like, what's different? There could have been things that were different, and we never got to explore that. And like the little nuances, we didn't really like make time for ourselves. We just jumped right into, okay, family planning. Maybe like we're ready for that. Even career changes along the way. Those were little changes that happened, but we were just like, hey, you know what? It's part of part of life. Like,
Mhm.
kind of, minimize it, and it's not a big deal. But then, yeah, like I would have loved to spend more time to really explore it and let it unfold fully until we move on to the next,
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
married
As a
couple.
married couple, and then moving into, okay, now we've done enough. Like, say we traveled, we, spent more time together, getting to know each other in this stage of our life. And then we can figure out, okay, we're ready and responsible to take on somebody else's life, raise a child and everything.
Mhm. I'm so curious, like what older parents say um, on this subject,
Mm.
because it's also, from my understanding, as someone who does not have children, um, I always hear like, as a parent, you're just never gonna be ready or prepared for that transition. So I wonder, like, you know, for a couple who has like explored all of that, and then they would have a kid, like, I wonder if they felt like that transition was ready. You know
Mm.
what I mean?
Hmm. I mean, from having conversations with other parents, other like newly parents, parents who've been in the trenches for however long, I think you're right. Like, there is no way to prepare for parenthood. But I think it's everything that happens prior to actually having a child
Mm.
that is kind of overlooked or not highlighted enough in conversation. It's really like that time and, opportunity to have with just you and your partner, you and your like spouse, that of course, like, even marriage, whether you say like, oh, it didn't really feel like anything on the surface, no different. Deep down inside, you've changed. Something has changed. Maybe outlooks have changed. Jumping into parenthood really, it's just kind of, you bypass everything prior to that, and that conversation of like, hey, let's see where we're at, like, now that we're married, you know what things do we want to accomplish
Mhm.
before, like, we take our attention off of us and attending to a little one, you know because that's also something I felt, and this was true in my relationship. We really didn't spend time nurturing our married um phase, in terms of, let's acknowledge some of the growth. Maybe there was some things that we overlooked even in our dating phase that we never talked about. Let's, like, spend some time doing that. Um, let's address some of the things that we did set out when we were like dating, and those activities, those, special moments that we never carried out. Like, we should do it right now
Mhm.
before we lose sight. And I think there was a little bit of that naiveness going into it, that's saying like, oh, we'll get to it when we get to it. But we didn't realize like how important and vital it was to our relationship to have that before, shifting our attention and focus on another life.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
No, yeah, it's kind of going back to that thing that we talk about where it's like, how can you fill someone else's cup when yours is not filled?
Yeah.
And in this metaphor, it's
Right.
like filling your relationship and make sure it has enough fuel in order to give life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give your new life,
Yeah.
literal new life.
That is real talk. And I mean, with through my experience, we paid a price. We paid a price, especially like the time and attention that is needed when you're raising a baby, and building a family. Like, you naturally lose sight of each other as a couple. You really do. And whether we were aware of it at the moment or not, I think we weren't aware of it, and then just certain points where we hit breaking points each, and it was just like, we've never done this, we've never fought like this, we've never argued like this. Emotions and tensions were high. That's never happened in our past, but
Like before you were
before we were
parents.
parents. And it's like, that hurt, that really hurt. That was like a tough tough time to like accept that that was happening, and even to think that on my end I was like, is this going to be our life like moving forward?
Mm.
So that was when all the questions started like gathering in my head, questions about my relationship, questions about me as an individual in that relationship, and questioning my own abilities and just my own very like value.
Mm.
um Nobody prepares you for that part.
Mhm.
Nobody speaks on it out there, and I hope parents listening to this out there like, be keen on sharing that wisdom, because I think it's vital. I think it would be useful for like up and coming parents and things like that. But that was when we figured, okay, we can try to talk to people that are around us, talk to our families, our friends. That didn't seem to really take hold, so we went outside of our means and
Mhm.
um sought like therapy and
Mm.
marriage counseling.
Yeah.
So that really like took us to another place.
I will also remember such a huge part of, well, I did premarital counseling.
Mhm.
Um, and I actually, the person who told me to do premarital counseling was my cousin because she has 3 kids.
Oh,
She's like maybe like 15 years into her marriage. And she said, the one piece of advice that I have for you, if you're planning on getting married, is to do premarital counseling first so that you're really faced with those hard questions and the reality of what it is to get married, have a family, and then even the process of when your kids leave and it's just you two left. Like, if we go
oh
that
man.
far into it, one
That's a big
thing,
one.
yeah, a lot of the other couples that were in those classes, their issue was that they were so focused on the parenthood part
Yeah.
that they didn't even know each other when their kids left. And
Wow.
it's so easy to like shift your focus just on like raising your family.
Yeah.
But if you're not nurturing your relationship, because
Dang.
eventually your kids will leave.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it's just you two, and that's
Yeah,
what
it's like
marriage is all
back to
about.
you again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, that's, a lot of people in my life have definitely um experienced that with their own parents, and it's like the just the number of people that I know
Right.
are dealing with that. It's like especially in generational ways of thinking, like therapy has a stigma to it,
Yes.
especially like a couples therapy situation.
Mm-hmm.
And when we think about like like older generations and their marriages and like the circumstance of marriages, especially when you think about like immigrant families and like kind of that trauma bond you have almost moving to another country. And then when the child, like, yeah, when the focus shifts back into the relationship and you're older and all that stuff has happened, like, yeah, I have like their families are definitely going through some really tough times.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
And I really feel even everything you're saying, Kuya Brian, applies to people who are just thinking about kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if they're not
Mhm.
married and they're wondering if they want to have children, it's really something to consider.
Yeah, I'm scared
Absolutely.
now. Just kidding.
I mean, the whole point of this is not to like instill any fear into it, because I have to like say, like, parenthood is so like it brings a new and different sense of joy to me in my life. And in some senses, in some levels, it feels like I got a new lease in life,
Dang.
like with the love that I feel and receive from my girls and everything like that,
Aw.
and kind of like how that brings us all together as a family. So yes, everybody talks about like the struggles, the late nights, the sleepless nights, you know but there's something, again, like there's another side to it. Gift and a curse, right? Parenthood
Mhm.
is a gift and a curse, but like you can navigate it, and there are like a lot of things to like really look forward to,
Beautiful.
you know?
Um, well, when we're talking about all these things that you're going through and like what both good and bad that can come from it, or not bad, but difficult
Mhm.
that can come from it.
Yeah.
what are some things that you are leaving behind or letting go of or unlearning in order to move forward?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, from just a individual internal standpoint, like from me inside, like I really had to let go of the past version of Brian. And what I mean by that, I mean, there is a part of me that, believed that I was going to be the same person going through different stages. And even if I could like acknowledge that, yeah, you can't stay 100% the same way, but I thought I was going to be like, if I had to put a number, like 80% of what I was prior. Um, and I had to realize and take a hard look that, those thoughts and beliefs, that identity that I attached myself to was not serving me, let alone serving the people now that I am like responsible to, you know? So that was one big thing that really like I had to like consider and say like, okay, that's gonna be tossed. Other things that came to mind, um, you know, people pleasing,
Mm.
um, that thought of wanting to be liked by other people, um, living timidly, um, with hesitation, almost, and then also like my emotional dumping. Like I had to, say like, yeah, that's not serving anybody. It's not even serving me. So get rid of that. Um, Other things like I had to let go of like external, other external things like socializing. There was a level of socializing that I love that I'm like, I'm gonna be hanging out with my friends this weekend. Like we're all gonna have a good time. That wasn't feasible, with having a family and kids, and to let go of that. I even characterized it as like living like my best life, living the fast life, the high life. That was something I had to let go of too. Um, because you got to think, like I realized my energy, my time, my attention is very precious. And I have to honor that. So what am I like, giving it to? Like to what things, to which people? I really took a deep hard look and had to kind of revise everything. That was tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that's a big conversation, I feel, when people become parents. It's like, oh, yeah, the running kind of joke is like, oh man, we don't see him anymore because he has kids or, he's married, or she.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I guess, there's always truth to those things, to those adages. And yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, this new role, it takes a priority because, I mean, it's unimaginable for me at least, raising a child, like having this life as it's your responsibility. So I would see how that would really make you reflect on what you have to let go of.
Right. Yeah. I mean, not to mention like you're also stepping into that role with the thought, if you do have this awareness, you're coming in with the thought of like, we do not want to pass along our generational like traumas and curses. It ends with us.
Yes.
So
Whoa, wait, hold on. Let me. Not the movie. Too much drama.
Not that.
Maybe it ends here.
It ends here.
Okay, it ends here. I'll watch that movie. Like I see it pop up, but I'll get to it.
I just like
Now,
the tea
though.
that's been coming out of it, but that's
Ooh.
neither here nor there.
But you get what I'm saying, right? Like
Yeah.
that was my wife and I's goal, but like, how do we do it? That was the question. How are we gonna do that?
I mean, dude, like being the generation to be aware enough to break that is such a heavy burden to
It is.
carry. And
It really is.
it's really great that you guys are on the same page to break that. Um, because, I've there's like research to how generational trauma or intergenerational trauma, it can be traced centuries ago.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I know there was one where like Irish woman, because of the potato famine from like the 1900s or something. Yeah, the potato famine,
Mhm.
1800s. Their body, because of the starvation of the potato famine, their body kind of retains like fat in a certain
Yeah.
way, especially like in the lower like stomach area,
Yeah.
because like how starvation, when your body's trying to retain all of that
Yeah.
energy in like one place
To like
and
survive.
to survive.
Yeah.
And so women present day, Irish women present day, like they have the same body shapes or they retain fat in the same places, because of that intergenerational trauma physically.
Yeah.
So when we're
Mhm.
talking about emotionally, like the emotional trauma that follows, like trauma is such a big buzzword nowadays, but I think it's something to really consider when we think about how we can, be better for the generations after moving
Yeah.
forward.
That's right.
Yes.
And it's really
yes.
hard to not fall into your own patterns or what you've seen. So I really commend you
course.
guys
Yeah.
on doing that
Well,
work.
yeah. I mean, see, like to really like hammer that idea, to only do the stopping of generational curses and traumas, like you really have to focus in on that self work, understanding yourself.
Mhm.
Um, that's where I feel all roads lead to that. And then from there, you just kind of go like with that newfound like awareness and knowledge, hope for the best after
Hope for the
that,
best.
Mhm. So, Ash, you brought up a really good point about, even the science behind it with generational trauma. And it made me think about how your kids are literally your genetic makeup.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering, has there ever been a time where like you really see yourself or your wife sees herself, and maybe even good times and then maybe
Yeah.
even really challenging times? How you navigate through that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there initially it's like it's cute, it's funny, but when it starts to like take shape and like turn into something more, and it's like, ooh, that doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
It comes off like really, pretty bad.
Mhm.
Like the first my first reaction is just like, I can't believe it. Like, are we cursed? Like, is there a way to come back from this? Like, for example, a lot of my oldest daughters, like her vibe, her energy that she puts out into the world, like my wife and others have said, like, that is your daughter.
I
For
feel like
better
it's
or
almost
for
always the
worse.
firstborn daughter who takes after her
Yeah.
father. Not all the time, but majority of the
Yes.
time. Definitely for me.
Me too.
I feel okay. I
Me
feel
too.
that too.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah, you're gonna
Okay.
you're gonna butt heads.
Okay. There you go.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I look at it and yeah, like I said, sometimes I think it's cute, but I'm also thinking, oh no, like I know who I was when I was growing up and like kind of the reactions that I got from
Yeah.
people if I gave like some kind of like weird look, like especially with her
Yeah.
face, like she does like
She looks like you. She really looks like
oh
you.
my gosh, like splitting image and it like
Yeah.
it's not funny anymore. It's just kind of scary because I'm like my mini me and ooh,
Yeah.
She's
I
like,
had
no.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Like you've met your match.
Yes. And I mean that's
Yes.
what it feels like it's turning into. Like that is gonna be my
That's
match
so
throughout
funny.
life. And um I'll tell you, it's a challenge that maybe I could feel like, oh, today I overcame that challenge.
Mm.
But tomorrow, maybe I'm on the losing like side of it, and that's kind of like the push and pull, that contrast that I've learned to accept. Because underneath it all, we're just trying our best,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to like direct this child, this kid, like in the right direction. And shout out to my wife. Like she knows like kind of how to tame it, how to keep it at
She's had
bay.
practice.
She's had practice, 100%. She has.
Yeah. Is it
You
because
know,
she knows how you are? Does she ever say? I'm just curious.
I think it's a combination of, yes, just our time together, but also just really who she is as a person.
Mm.
She's very, I've said it before. She's very calming
She is.
person.
She truly is.
Very,
She
very
is.
chill. And
Oh yeah.
She makes me feel so calm.
there you go.
Yeah,
See,
and welcome.
And
And
yes,
loved.
yes, like
Yeah.
that care, compassion, really you get from her. And I'm like, she also shares that with our firstborn, like really, gives that kind of like attention and care to. And even when things go like sideways, and tantrums are thrown, or like a disagreement comes around, if like, no, I want to watch some more TV and whatever, and like a little argument. But I will say, I think just it's not as bad as how I remember, or what I hear from like my stories of like growing up as a child. So like
Oh.
my
So-
parents will
Mhm.
validate that she's a lot more tame than I was.
So
That's
like
a good
some
thing.
of your wife is sprinkled in there for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
That's beautiful.
I mean, definitely my wife, and like all those involved in like raising our
Mm.
kids. They
It takes a
definitely
village.
it takes a village.
Takes
Yeah,
a village.
yeah.
Yeah. So what's the most, and this is a big one, but what's the most important lesson you've learned so far from facing this change? And do you think you're living that lesson? Let me repeat that. Do you think you're living that lesson?
um, like the lesson I've taken, that I've like tried to live, is just lean into it. Lean into what it is that is going on in life, and you know, trust in the values that I hold true to myself. Let that lead me through all of the challenges that are ahead. When the road gets really bumpy, and you feel like you can't find yourself like through it, like you just like keep moving forward, and you try our best, like I said,
Day by day.
day by day, and this is also with like coming from the self work I've done. It's like my values versus like what I used to like lean on were like my beliefs and everything. I've learned that beliefs about the world, beliefs about ourselves, they change, right? And they can, they're fleeting. If anything, they can go out the window at some point. But if you don't know what your values are in life, then that's a vital part of guiding you, and that's what I've come to learn.
We're circling it back on this series.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I think we are. And I mean, this project, our podcast, has been
Yeah.
one of the main drivers in this self-work,
Yeah.
so I have a lot to attribute to this, a lot of the growth.
I want to know, when it gets really hard,
Mm.
how do you keep going? Like what is something that really encourages you, lifts you back up? Because I think in general, when you're really in the thick of it, it's so hard not to give up and not to lose that hope.
I mean, it sounds cliche, but I think it's a good starting point for me if all else fails. But it's like reminding myself that I am, to my children, like their provider and a role model and a big influence.
Yeah.
Whether I want to or not, whether I try to, fight that like thought, again, it's also leaning into that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's the first thing that I try to come back to if I lose sight. Um, I think about, you know, if I didn't show up for them today or the days, like, whatever, when I'm not feeling it, I would be, that moment in their life, like, will be multiplied. So it has a profound, like, impact on them. And I
Mm-hmm.
have to remind myself of that. And that's a, that's kind of like how I start with, again, getting back to like dealing and managing
Mm-hmm.
those challenges,
Showing up for them.
showing up for them.
That's a big part.
Yeah, because I I have that, like, I don't know, like, I'm sure other parents could like resonate with this to a degree, but there are some days where it just you question everything in life. You question, like, damn, like, how much more can I do? You're fighting your kid. And then I
Yeah.
have myself, all of
Yeah.
the internal conflict, but I can't show it to them, I
Golly.
can't let it
Yeah.
out. And you know there's that, again, that push and pull. And I just come back to that after everything is settled, the day's done, they're down for their naps or for bed, excuse me. I'm like, remember, I'm doing this for them.
Oh,
I'm doing
yeah.
this for them. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, Now that you're a parent and you're going through all of these internal and external battles and this idea of doing it for them, how does that shift your perspective on your parents and your relationship to them and how
Ooh,
what they've, had to do to sacrifice and how you perceive that, all that stuff?
yeah. I totally, a lot of the faults, a lot of the anger, a lot of the disappointments that I held against my parents in the past, it was easy to let that go because I understood now whatever, tools they had at their disposal, the knowledge of themselves and, like, how to, navigate parenthood. They were just doing what they could, you know, their to the best of their ability, whatever form it came. And maybe, they're, yeah, again, like, they didn't have that opportunity to, speak to somebody who can guide them. They really just went off of pure instinct and, just repeating what they've seen that's, like, from parents around them, whatever the case may be, or like relying on their parents to raise their kids. That in itself, just felt like I was replaying my childhood all over again and
Mhm.
seeing how difficult it can be. But now I see it because I'm like in that like role.
Yeah.
So, I've made peace with that idea of, like, the anger that I held for my parents at some point in my life, like it's no more.
Yeah.
And like I have a lot to that I owe to them for, in the position that I'm at now, because for better or for worse, they're still my parents. They gave me life, and
Mhm.
I am alive today to, like, try my best in doing, taking up that mantle and giving them grace so that I'm not like, I don't have that, like, same, like, hard, angry feeling,
Yeah.
held against them. And, you
Yeah.
know,
It really, like, it's that saying that I feel like when parents are like angry or disappointed or whatever, like you'll never understand until you're a parent yourself.
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
That's
that's
so true.
that's
Is what you're
a
saying.
true statement. Um, there's nothing more that you could say. But
Mm-hmm.
just that, yeah.
If you get it, you get it.
You'll never know
Yeah.
until you're
If you know,
there,
you know.
right? Yeah. Yeah.
So that is really a huge lesson to take from parenthood.
Yeah.
And again, something I guess, Ash and I and anyone else who doesn't have kids, we really won't know till till we get there,
Yeah.
right?
We'll one day understand.
Yeah, you'll get there. for
Yeah.
sure.
But I
Yeah.
also understand where you're coming from. Like,
Of course,
yeah.
of
Yeah.
course. So going off of that, how do you want to feel as you move forward, and what do you need to do to generate those
Right,
feelings?
right. I want to feel like I'm striving towards living through those values, that I was highlighting earlier. Those are the very values that I hope that I'm passing on to my kids.
Mm.
What are those values? Can you share some of them?
Yeah, I mean, self-love, patience comes to mind.
Oh. I did not have that on my list.
Oh my gosh.
Oopsie.
I mean, parenthood really, really requires a lot of patience.
Dude.
All the patience in the world and
All the
more,
patience.
right?
Yes. I mean, you thought like, friendships, marriage, and all that requires patience. Like, this is next level patience. I'm telling you. And if you weren't like built with it to start, you gotta find it fast.
Bruh.
Like,
Mhm.
I'm
faster
gonna
than
tell
anything.
you, my waiting room is empty because I got no patience.
We're keeping that. I love that.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Levity. Okay, keep
I
going.
love it. I love it.
I heard you.
Something about the last episode, we always get a little
Giggle.
Yep.
values
other
for
values.
parenthood.
I have like a list, guys. Like gratitude,
Ooh.
faith, kindness, authenticity,
Mm.
resilience, community is a big one for me.
I love that. I think community is like so important for raising a child, because historically that's how you raise a child.
Right.
And like in this like a really Western lens of like, no, like it's just it's just you and your spouse. Like,
Yeah.
how do two people
Yeah.
raise one human being?
Mhm.
That's a lot.
I mean, to add on to that, because that is like how a society is kind of built and how they view parenthood, all the other like components of living a not even a successful life, but just like surviving a life in the United States, like you still require like your both parents to work like full time, if not more. So then how do you like, build that community? And some of these
Yeah.
like families do not have the luxury of their extended family,
Exactly.
friends to like help raise this child.
Yeah.
And what I've been learning is that is so detrimental to like
Mhm.
kids when they're put in daycare, and some, equate daycare to like another like form of institutionalization, like the
Mhm.
beginnings of it. But it's just the
Yeah.
lack of like fam like the family like bond, and like everybody like they don't have that same like luxury.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, it's
And
really
that's
a blessing.
unfortunate. Yeah.
It really is.
It
And
is.
even if we take it a step further, the single parents out there.
There you
that
go.
are-
Yeah, that's
Shout
another
out to the
thing.
single parents.
They are
Yes.
really doing it on their own.
Right.
And they're just doing the best that they can.
Right.
I have seen, because of my job, I work with many different kinds of families, and the effect that community has on a child, it literally changes the trajectory of their life. It, like, even with some of the single parents that I've seen, if they don't have that village, then they will do everything they can to create that village along the way.
Mhm.
Because it is like all of the interactions that the kids have growing up, it shapes who they are.
Yeah.
And it can't just be
One person.
one
No,
person
yeah.
or two people
Or two
even.
people, yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, for sure, like it always just like comes back to, yes, you had mentioned it earlier, Ash, it's a blessing.
Mhm.
Like that in itself is a blessing, knowing how much help we have. And also just kind of like I also tend to think of like people that are close to me that talk about like the lack of that in their life and support, and I feel for them, you know. But again, everybody moving forward, if you have that mindset of like we're just gonna do our best, then you know that child is gonna be like healthy. You know, they're gonna grow up, and you know their lives will take shape, and
Mm-hmm.
And they will
with
feel so loved.
yeah,
Mhm.
there's gonna be something that they're gonna look back and they could feel from like their childhood that, hey, you know, that parent, whoever it was, like, you know, or that figure in my life, they loved me.
Yeah.
And it starts with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when we're talking about what you want to feel moving forward,
Oh yeah.
so you're gonna take these values.
Yeah, take these values and like live a life like, especially for me, like driven less by fear and frustration, and more through like faith, like first and foremost faith like in my higher power, you know, faith in the people around me, you know, trusting the people around me to like help uplift me like through these challenges, um and allowing or giving myself grace in times of like, you know, when I make a mistake, or like if I feel like I've like not delivered my best. You know, that is kind of like how I envision myself moving forward through this, like through
Mm-hmm.
this like season of like parenthood and beyond,
Yeah.
you know. Um,
Great answer.
Thank you. I mean, what I would need to feel to actually do that, um, you know, express like, or like exercise the like patience, empathy,
Mm-hmm.
compassion, um, you know, definitely like show love to myself, care for myself. We go back to that. If you can't take care of yourself, like how could you take care of others around you, right?
If you can't respect yourself, how can you receive the love
Yeah,
and the support and the respect?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
true. Um, I want to share this with you guys, and I think this is something that is also vital in any facet of your life. You know, that there's this move, like moving. I've mentioned this before, like movement, but the term kinesis is like a thing that I've learned. You know, just keep moving, um, to reduce that amount of like time that you are like just stagnant. You're sitting and you let all the negative emotions, let all the thoughts and, you know, like the doubts start to cloud your mind, and it just keeps you there, like
Mm-hmm.
from taking action. I am a like I've come from that place. I know what that feels like, and you know that's where my frustration and like my, you know, just not loving myself like came from, when I just like sat. But I've adopted this whole new thing of like, you just got to keep moving forward no matter how small the act is. Get yourself out of that, to get yourself out of that like mode and mindset, like
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
You know, definitely keeping that in mind, and then just reminding myself like, you know, remain upright, remain sturdy. Like that's another thing, like keeping yourself like firm in your like walking forward and everything. Like I kind of envision myself now like a little bit more like, I like, just for instance, like back straight, like, you know, keep it up. It really changes your
Mm-hmm.
mood. Your posture changes your mood, right?
Us all
Fix that
straightening our
posture.
posture.
Yeah.
well.
Whereas like I envisioned my old self, like I was just hunched over and I'm just like kind of walking
Carrying the
slowly,
weight of the world.
carrying the weight of like my problems, my
Yeah.
issues, and like how am I supposed to project that to my kids, you know?
Wow. Because
You
they're
get what
looking
I'm
up to
saying?
you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you know, that's exactly. Oh, and practicing. Put these things that I've been saying, like I have to practice. I have to
Mm-hmm.
practice any chance that I get. But definitely those are the feelings that I need to get myself into to like feel like I can achieve
Yeah.
moving forward and like tackling on this like
Mhm.
challenge.
Yeah.
You know?
And even just showing up.
Right.
Sometimes that's just enough.
Yeah.
Like
It
that's a
is.
win to show up.
It is.
Yeah.
That's why it's like really important to like go to like, you know, when they start in school and stuff, going to like shows, recitals,
Mhm.
things of that
Yes.
sort. It really does make such an impact and a difference in how a child not only like sees you, but also sees the world around them.
Right. Right.
Okay, to end this on a light note, I have a question. What has been your go-to snack lately?
Oh.
Ooh.
I'm trying to find some new snacks.
yeah.
Okay. So when I'm feeling like I want to be healthy, pomegranate seeds with lime and tahine.
Whoa.
Oh, lime and tahini?
That's
Wow.
that's different.
Really?
Bomb.
Wow.
You get like a nice bowl and you can get the palm yourself or you can get the
Yes.
little, but I like the effort to do the pomegranate seeds and take it all out and just
Wash
like
it and
smack that
everything. Oh yeah.
pomegranate
Yeah.
and get all the seeds out.
Wow.
And then I like to freeze them. So then they're like really cold, but it's good when it's fresh. And then you put in a bowl, squirt some lime, put some tahini on top.
Oh my gosh, I've
Whoa.
never heard
Delicious.
of that before.
And it's also good for your body.
Very
Yeah.
healthy.
Pomegranates are very good for you.
Super
That's
healthy.
so
Oh
good.
man.
Wow.
And if not that, tortilla chips. I love tortilla
Like
chips.
just plain or Doritos?
Plain. Oh no, like the Mission brand
Oh,
or
okay.
like
With the hint of lime or
yes,
Yeah,
with the
okay.
hint of
Yeah, that
lime.
one, because it says on the packaging with a hint of lime.
Yes, lime is
Yeah.
always
So obviously,
Yeah.
I think my snack is lime right now.
Mhm.
But
I was thinking, you know, she's just eating lime. Like that. Damn.
So yeah, I love chips. I like crunchy, so I like tortilla chips
Mhm.
because I feel like it's just always there. Like you
Mhm.
always have tortilla chips on hand for some reason because maybe you had dip the other day or so maybe you went to a potluck.
They're versatile.
They're so versatile. If you have a
Yes.
dip,
Nachos.
nachos,
Oh,
or
yeah.
like when you're eating like something that has like sauce to it, you can kind of
Yes.
just like end up dipping through it
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
soak it all up. So yeah, tortilla chips or pomegranates with lime and tahini.
Man.
Yum.
Put you on game right there.
I'm gonna try
Okay.
that
Good.
tomorrow.
It's really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And Kuya Brian?
Oh, my go-to right now, it's been a peanut butter and banana sandwich. That's my like.
Wow,
Yeah.
that would take me.
I've heard.
back.
I've
Yeah.
heard about how good that can be.
That is like my go-to snack without feeling like I'm overindulging.
Crunchy or smooth?
Peanut butter. I don't mind for either one. As I don't know if we've had this conversation, but like, like crunchy toast bread,
Mm.
like the crunchier, the better for me.
Are you a crunchy spam person too?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm a crunchy spam person.
Yeah.
But I don't want crunchy toast.
Why?
It's too hard. I don't know.
Like
I'd
that
rather
feeling of
have
like,
Yeah.
crunchy toast over crunchy spam.
ooh,
I love crunchy spam.
the more you know.
I don't like it. Like if we go to Korean barbecue, I don't like the crispy beef part. Like you
Mm.
can take that. I'll have it when it's like just done cooking.
Ah.
Ah.
The only
okay.
time I'll have like soft spam was like at the Korean restaurant, like when it's in the soup,
Oh.
right?
Mhm.
That's the only time I'll eat it like that.
Well, don't say soft. I mean, I'll eat it like it's fried. Like I'm not an animal, but just kidding.
Like
I'm
it's
sorry.
very soft.
Like
Soft
okay,
spam.
now I imagine myself just grabbing like the chunk of spam out of the
Like
can, and
boiled
taking a
spam.
bite.
Just straight out. Oh my
No,
gosh.
I
It's
meant
like you hit the can and it just like pops out.
and then the gelatin on the side.
Somebody's gonna start chopping it and cookie is like, no. Leave it like that.
You know what's insane is if you get like the chunk out of the can and then you put like stack rice on top and then you just eat it.
Oh my gosh, just
Oh
take a
my
bite straight.
gosh. Anyway, I
Wow.
wouldn't do that. I would not do that. Please, please, please. I wouldn't do that. Like the slightly, like
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's fried, but it's not
Lightly
like
fried.
it's not crispy. You know how like you can
Mm,
cut it so thin that it's basically like
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of
I
that.
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, toast.
But yeah, the feeling of like that toast and like when it kind of like hits the roof of your mouth and it's like kind of scratchy the roof of
You
your
like
mouth.
that?
I like that feeling. I don't know why.
Oh,
I like
wow.
that feeling. I do. I love it.
Oh, that's
You're
nice.
I like that feeling.
Fine.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
call me weird, it's fine. But you know,
Yeah,
that's,
that's okay.
I
To each
guess-
their own.
To each their own. No one
To
gets
each
your
I
their
guess
own.
it's just, I grew up with toast exactly like that. I never got comfortable with like just straight out the bag, like, and make a sandwich out of that, like really soft white bread.
Even
Mm.
sandwiches have to be hard.
A bit toasted.
Oh,
A
okay.
bit
I like
toasted
it.
for me.
Okay.
I could have it
Yeah.
either way.
Yeah.
I guess I don't really have
I
a
think-
preference.
I can have it hard if it's like open face toast
And like avocado.
because like there's only one bread and
Mm.
that bread is a single parent. You can only hold so much on top of it, so you need to toast it.
Yeah.
But then like with a sandwich, there's two
Mhm.
Yeah.
and they have each other.
I could eat bread straight out the bag. Like,
Do you like the ends?
Ooh.
no.
I can eat
I-
ends.
I'll eat the ends because I think about like
Food waste.
this food waste. Yeah. It's
That's-
like, and nobody in my
yeah.
household will eat that. So it's like,
yeah.
I'll take it.
I'm the same. I'm the same
I'll
way.
do it.
I'll
leave the best
Yeah.
pieces for everybody else. It's fine.
But honestly, if you slather like enough peanut butter on it, like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
fine.
It's not bad.
fine.
It's just nice
Yeah.
and soft.
Totally fine. Totally
What's your
fine.
snack, Kai?
There are these baked cheese crunchies from Trader Joe's. It's like Trader Joe, not sponsored. It's Trader Joe's like own version of Cheetos.
Oh.
Shout
I
out
think I saw
Michaela.
them somewhere in your home.
Oh, they're right. They're right here, like down here.
Like in arm's length.
Yeah,
like,
you
in
guys can
within
try.
arm's reach.
On it. Okay, shout out Michaela. She put me on, but they are so good. I could eat the whole bag if I don't
Oh.
like consciously
Oh, yeah.
say stop. I'll go through the whole bag.
Trader Joe's. Yum.
Yeah.
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 And I'm not even like a cheesy snack girl, but man, it's like the perfect amount of cheese and the crunch. It's not too salty. Ugh, could go through
Do you
the
like
whole thing.
Cheez-Its?
Not really. You know how it leaves a
Same.
taste in your mouth after?
I just don't like the texture or
Oh,
the taste.
man.
Too.
Okay.
I used to, but I
Mm.
think as I got older, I just
I'll
stopped.
eat it if it's there.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
Good to know.
But
Good
like
to
if
know.
we're talking like those munchie bags with like a bunch of like different
Oh,
Yeah, the
colors,
yeah.
mix.
the mix.
Yeah.
I would go for if it's like a hot Cheeto one, I'll eat the hot Cheeto, and then the Chex. I like the Chex,
Yes. Oh, I love chips.
Ah.
the square.
Okay, then we could probably like divvy up the bag and everybody will have the pieces that they want because I
What?
don't like any of those pieces.
Oh,
What are you gonna get?
You don't like the brown bread? Like,
Why did I say? Why did I know?
How did you know?
It's so hard because it's so hard.
It's hard bread. It's literally just hard bread.
It's not just
And
that.
it's like burnt.
No, it's not just that. It's
Hey,
the taste.
Okay,
It's
that
the
will for
taste.
sure scratch the roof of your mouth. That's
It
what you're
scratched the
looking
itch.
for.
Okay,
Okay, you can have all of
shout out
them.
brown bread. Like, I love that. I love
From Cheesecake
that.
Factory.
Oh, that too. Yeah, that's my go-to.
Ooh, it's
Yeah.
the pumpernickel.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
so I would eat that, yeah, but it's not my go-to. But
Alright.
I'll eat it,
That's
yeah.
right.
I don't really like the pretzel.
Mm.
I like pretzels,
pretzels?
but I'm kind of just like,
I-
why are you here?
You don't
Yeah,
like it? Okay,
I
I'll take
like
the pretzels too because I love pretzels.
I mean,
hard bread. I'm seeing a trend here.
oh my
Whatever the rejects
God.
are in a Chex Mix bag, I probably will eat it. And then you'll have your set, you'll have your set, and we can all survive off of Chex Mix.
I think we should get
Yes.
that next episode.
Let's try. Explore the bag and then see
Yeah.
what it's
A
like.
munchie bag.
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
Hot Cheeto one would
Alright.
be great.
Yeah.
Next
Oh,
one. Let's do it.
man.
That's so funny.
Good
Well,
call. Good call.
great.
Oh man. If you made it this far,
Thank
God,
you.
thank you everybody who's been riding with us, like
Yeah.
going through this madness. But we appreciate your time. Leave us your comments. Get in the comment section and let us know what you think of these episodes, what you thought about this series. And follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, excuse me, at In-Laws We Trust Podcast. And you can follow me at Captain B or B Archangel Cuts.
Just supporting.
Yes, taking appointments, of course.
And you can follow me at Kylie Kawaii on Instagram.
And you can follow me at looking for Ashley _. Yeah, till next
time. Till next episode.